Welcome back everybody, feels good to start making videos again. I have a brand new computer so my videos should have much better quality for you to follow along to. In this new series, I will be going over different mechanics to build your very own Tycoon game within Fortnite Creative 1.0. So let's hop right into it. Okay, to start off, the first thing that we want to do is we're going to put down a prop manipulator device. What this prop manipulator device is going to do is it's going to be able to hide or show the different things that we want to upgrade. So let's, for instance, let's place this down now. Place it right over here. The first thing that we want to do, you can do this two ways. The first one, I'll show both ways in this tutorial. But the first one, we're going to change the settings here to affect all objects in a zone. And then we're going to change this to make it a little bigger. Okay, now we have a little zone here. Within this zone, whatever we put inside here is going to be what the player unlocks in our Tycoon. So for example, let's just go to the prefab gallery here and let's just find like a little cabin here. Right? So we got this cabin. Okay, as you can see, we have the cabin here. The whole piece of it is covered inside this prop manipulator zone. That's exactly what we want. So the next thing we want to do is we want to go back to the prop manipulator here. Where is it? It should be in the house here. Yep. We're gonna go back here, and we want to change this setting to start hidden on. Also, one thing that we want to do here is we want to change the name. Always make sure you're naming your devices because this will make your life a lot easier in the future when you have hundreds of devices and you're trying to find a specific one. So we'll still call it prop manipulator. But we'll call it cabin 1. Okay. Now, the next thing that we want to do, just like in every other Tycoon game, is they typically have a button. And when you jump on the button, then it unlocks whatever you're trying to unlock. And for instance, ours is a cabin in this tutorial. So the first thing when we want to do, go back to our content drawer. And if you go to gallery, and you can actually search it at the top here and go primitive. And it's this one here, which is primitive shapes gallery. You scroll all the way down to the bottom and just up a little bit, you'll see this button here is a good shape to use for your button. So we'll place this button down right in front of our cabin. Right? To change the color of the button, just go right up to it and change the settings to red. Now we have a button. Now we're gonna need some more devices to put in here. First one's gonna be a conditional button. Gonna need that, and we're also gonna need a trigger. So grab the trigger, place it down right on top of your button. Just like that. And also, we'll take our conditional button here, place it down right beside it. One thing that we need to change in our island settings is when you go down to user interface, go to the HUD section, and you want to change these settings to show gold resource count to yes. I've already done it in this map. Yours will probably be set to no. And I turned these ones off just for this tutorial, just to make it a little more visually pleasing to see just the gold in the corner of the screen. The next thing that you want to change, if you go to player settings, what you want to do is you want to go to player settings and then go into inventory And infinite building materials is probably set to on. You want to turn this to off. This will make sure that you don't have infinite gold, because gold is technically considered a building material in your map. Now that we have that done, we're going to add a payment for this upgrade into our conditional button device. So for this example, we're going to use gold. Scroll down, grab the gold, go into your inventory, and drop a stack of, let's say, 100 into the conditional button. Now, this button here, we want it to disappear after the user triggers the button. So in order to do this, we're going to need another prop manipulator device. And what you can do actually is you can actually resize it, what I typically do, just to make it a little smaller. And we're going to place it right on the button. You'll notice that it's green when it's right and connected and touching the prop, but outside of the prop it's red. So you'll need it to be green in order for the effects to take place. So with this, we're going to change this settings. No, we don't need to change any setting. We don't need to change any settings on the prop manipulator device at this moment. Okay, so we pretty much have things set up here. Now we need to go into the events and functions here to make sure that they all talk to each other. So the first thing is we're going to hook up this trigger to our conditional button device, so that when we go into the trigger and go go to the event section, on triggered, we want to send an event to our conditional button. We want it to activate. And then once we're able to activate this, so if the player has 100 gold, we want to change the events here on activated, send event to, and what we want is the first prop manipulator of the cabin. We want to show the props. And the next thing we want to do is we also want to disable the trigger. Another thing we're going to do is we're going to get the other prop manipulator, which is our button prop manipulator, and we are going to hide the prop. This will hide the button once it's done. Okay. Another thing that we can do is we can add a billboard device right above the button. You'll see this done mostly in Tycoon Maps. So for instance, let's just change the text here, and I'll say 100 gold to unlock cabin. Right? So you can do two-sided if you like. We're gonna center it, increase the size, and change the color. We'll do like a green and give it a bit of an outline here. Right? So now people will be able to see what exactly it is that they are unlocking. So now we want that also to disappear once the cabin is unlocked. So when we go back to our conditional button, go back to the events, select device, billboard, and we want to set text to hidden. Right? So now if we want, we can go in and test out this map. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab an item spawner here. And just for the testing purposes, we're going to add gold to it. Say 200. I'm going to change this setting here quick too, just down to like 2 seconds. And time between spawns, 2 seconds. Okay, And now let's test out our map and see if there's anything that we missed. As you can see, there's no cabin, right? And if I jump on here, it doesn't unlock the cabin because, as you can see in the side, we have 0 gold. Now if we grab the gold and now we unlock it, look at that. We now have our cabin. Now that we know that that works, there is one thing that we need to change. We do just need to make the trigger device, we need to make it so that it's not visible during the game, because you don't want people to see that. So to make the trigger device not visible, just go into the settings, visible in game, off. And there you have it. We have a simple button mechanic for unlocking anything within a Tycoon game. Another tip here is I like to make this not visible as well, the conditional button. And I like to disable after use. Visible during game, no. I also like to move it kind of above and out of the way so that people don't actually hear sound effects or anything like that. Okay. Now the next thing is, in a Tycoon with these buttons, is you want to have like as soon as the cabin is unlocked, you want to have something available next for the player to unlock. So for this example, we're not going to use a zone for the prop manipulator. We're just going to use something like, or we're just going to attach it to the actual prop. So if we grab this tree here, place this tree down on the map just like that. And we're going to do similar steps to the past one. Let's grab a prop manipulator device. Attach it to the tree here. Don't know why that happened. Now we have a prop manipulator device on the tree. So for now, let's name this prop manipulator tree. Okay. So what we can do now is we can copy this button here. We can copy this button and we're going to place it in front of the tree here. Right. Now we also are going to do the same setup. So we're going to have another conditional button here. And we're going to need a trigger device. And we're going to need another prop manipulator device. We'll move this over here. And we want to shrink it down and attach it to this button. Okay, also to keep organized. And we're going to call this prop manipulator button 2. Okay. So again, let's drop some, similar to the process we just did. We're going to drop some money into this. Go back to the items, go all the way down, grab the gold. And we're gonna drop this into here. And this time we'll say it's $200 for the gold. Another thing we're gonna do now is we're gonna grab another billboard. You can copy the billboard from over here, but what you're gonna need to do is you're gonna actually need to change the settings because it's gonna copy all the settings. So what we want here is go to the event or go to the functions and let's just delete this right away. Always remember to do that because it may confuse you in the future on why things are working and not working. Also, what we need to do is we're going to change this to enabled during phase none. And also, we're going to change this to say 200 gold to unlock, tree. Right? There we go. So now for all of this to connect, we also need to go to this conditional button and make things appear, right? So if we go back to the conditional button here, and once it's activated, now we need to find our prop manipulator button, because we want the button to appear, and click show props. The next trigger as well, trigger 2, we want this to be enabled, which we should probably change this to disable on the game start. Where it says enabled on game start, we want to change this to off. This billboard 2, we want that to appear. So we go back to the conditional button and go billboard 2, set text visible, and that should be it for this one. Change this to, I'm sure this is not visible here, or it's visible right now. So let's change this to visible game off. Okay, and I think we're pretty much set up here. So now we need to continue on. So what happens when you press this, when you have the 200 gold to purchase the tree? Go to the events, and on activated, we want this conditional, or sorry, not the conditional, we want the prop manipulator tree to show props. We also want the button, prop manipulator button 2, to disappear. We also want trigger 2 to disable. Right? Very similar to the last one. And then we want the billboard 2 to also disappear. And there you have it. Let's test it out and see if it works. And obviously it did not work right away. So let's go right back, because we need that tree to be hidden. So we need to hide the tree here. If we go to this prop manipulator here and go to its settings, we want it to start as hidden. Also, let's change this conditional button device and make this disable after use on. And we want it to be not visible during the game. Again, you can grab it, place it up high where no one needs to see it or hear it, and we can start our match again. Okay, obviously I made another mistake. This happens all the time. That's why it's very good to every change, not every change that you make, but many changes that you make, you want to go and test out your game to make sure you did it properly. Very important. Now we're back into edit mode. We want to go over to this prop manipulator device for the button, and we want this to start hidden. So we want to set start hidden to on. Okay, let's try this again. Now you can see in the area where the tree is, there's nothing there, which is what we want. You can see when we jump on the button, nothing happens because we have 0 coins. So let's grab these coins here, and now step on the button. As you can see, the billboard disappeared, the button disappeared, and everything works as according. Right? Also, you can see, oh, now we can unlock the tree. So if we go over here and we press on it, obviously nothing happens because we need 200 gold. So let's go grab some more gold, bring it back over here, and it did not work. Reason this didn't work is because we didn't set the trigger to hook up with the conditional button device. So again, let's go back to our edit mode. Okay, so what we want to do is this trigger, go to the events tab, find our second conditional button, and we want it to activate. Now, everything should be set up correctly. We already know that that doesn't work, or we already know that this doesn't unlock, which is good. Grab the coin, unlock the cabin. Grab more coins. You can see that we can now unlock the tree. And once we unlock the tree, there you go. Just like that. So those are your very simple button mechanics for making a Tycoon game. In my next Tycoon tutorial, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the mechanics for having an automated system for getting more gold. Because in most Tycoon maps, you'll see that they can earn either 1 gold per second or 5 gold per second, and you can upgrade that during the game so you can earn more money. So I'll be doing that mechanic as well and showing you exactly how I do it within Creative 1.0. And that's going to be it for our first Tycoon tutorial for buttons. In the next tutorial, I will go over money management and show you how to make an automated system for the user to earn gold per second, just like in most Tycoon maps. And this is going to be done in Creative 1.0, just as a reminder. I also now have a creator code, so feel free to use code Chetter in the item shop as it really helps out with my channel. Thanks so much for watching until the end. It's greatly appreciated. Please consider liking the video and subscribing to my channel as it helps motivate me to make more videos for you guys. That's it for now. Stay spicy. I'm out. Peace.